Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Floyd Ladd. I'm a seller here on Whatnot. I go by the username The Ladd Thrifters Couple, along with my wife Julie. We do a lot of shows, mostly in the women's clothing category, and I myself do some of the men's stuff, mostly sports related. But anyways, we also do some weekly seller support chats, and one of the things that keeps coming up is how to track our taxes, how to keep track of our inventory, how to expenses, stuff like that. So what I do myself is I use a website called Seller Ledger. Now, this is a good website for keeping track of your inventory, like I said, and everything else that goes along with it. There's only one little issue, is how to get your stuff into it, because it does not automatically connect to Whatnot as it does with eBay and Poshmark and Mercury and a lot of the other websites. So I'm going to teach you guys how to use Seller Ledger to keep track of your Whatnot information, all right? Your sales, your cost of goods, your inventory, your mileage, all that good stuff, and a lot more. So stick with me, and I'm going to log in here, and I'll see you in 1 second. All right, everybody, when you log in, this is the dashboard, okay? This is where you see everything. Well, not everything, but a glimpse of what you've been doing for the month. Now, I covered up my income from all the different channels so you can't see it, just for protective measures on my part. But I'm going to teach you how to bring in your seller Whatnot. What you can see on my screen right now is my Poshmark, the Mercury, the eBay channels there on the left, right? Over here. Right? So for the Poshmark, the Mercury, and the eBay, it automatically imports all the seller fees, all the sales, and all that data, okay? Now, the different channels do a little differently. Like Poshmark, it won't import until the buyer receives it, okay? Until you get paid, pretty much, because then you get your fees and all that stuff. Then it'll import over. eBay, on the other hand, every time the transaction happens, like you sell the item, it gets uploaded. When the buyer receives it, if there's a refund or anything like that, then it's uploaded. It doesn't wait to the last minute to import everything, okay? Now, you see at the bottom I have the Whatnot right here, right? So you see two of them. One is my 2023 data, 2024 data, and one is my 2025 data. But anyways, so like I was saying, unlike the other accounts, Whatnot does not automatically upload. You have to go into Whatnot and download a CSV file of all your data for the sales for certain date ranges, which I'm going to go show you in 1 second. And then you're going to upload it, okay? Let me go there right now, because I have it already queued up. I'm logged in. All right, so here we are. We're in the Whatnot. It was already queued up for you. You can see this got my username in the upper left-hand corner, the Ladd Thrifter Couple. But what we're here to do is to download our CSV file so that we can upload it into Seller Ledger. So let me show you how to do that. Right here on your profile picture, just click it, and you're going to see everything. You got a selling and a buying category. So we're talking about our selling right now, so we're in the right place. All your shipments, your financials, your inventory, anything you have is right here. But we're going to click on financials, okay? Okay, here we are now inside our financial section, where you can see all your recent transactions. All right, this is going to be your payout history. I covered that part for financial safety as well, but you get the gist. All of my payouts are listed there. But so if I click on Ledger right now, we're going to come to this screen, okay? And this is going to be every transaction. This is all your transactions for every sale. So the numbers that are underneath my blurred area there, they are all after tax, okay? So tax is already taken out before you even seen this. Not tax, but I didn't mean to say tax. I meant fees, okay? This is after fees. So in order to get your CSV, you're going to click on this little edit dates button right here. You're going to pick the date. So my last show was on Friday. It was actually my wife's show, Julie. All right, so we're just going to change the dates for that show. And when I hit update, everything is going to populate just for that one day only, okay? So you get quite a number of pages. I get show 20 down here, 20 pages. I mean, not 20 pages, the first 20 transactions. You can change that to up to 100, I believe. So when we click, let me just check. Yeah, up to 100. So when we click on this export data now, we're going to be able to get a file into our downloads. You see it just popped up right up here in the top right corner. That's the CSV file. We clicked. All right, once you've clicked on that download file, you're going to get to this page. Not this page, but this CSV file, right? Now, Whatnot creates it in this format. The headers, Seller Ledger already understands. It's kind of like a universal headers, right? But there is some issues with it, like I was saying. For one, they don't understand what the red data with parentheses means for some reason. When they made Seller Ledger, they didn't make it understand that that's a negative number. You and I understand that, but their system for some reason does not, and I do not know why. So first, I like to filter everything. I hold my hand on the left mouse button over the A, and I drag it, okay? And then I just I click. You can go on any one of these until you get the cross, and just click, and it's gonna make it so that each column is big enough so you can read all the data, and all that scientific notation that was there before is now actual numbers that you can read. And now, as I was saying, Seller Ledger doesn't understand what these numbers up here mean with the parentheses. So we're gonna just highlight that one column, right click on it, go down to Format Cells, and we're gonna go to Currency. Now you can leave it here because it understands that negative number is a negative number, right? I'm a little OCD. You can see there's some more negative numbers down here. I'm a little OCD. I actually like dollar signs, so I will go to Format Cells again. I don't know why it always does this, but then I'll just hit that. Now I got negative $23. You don't have to do that last step. That's only if you're OCD like me. All right, so now we got negative numbers and we got positive numbers that Seller Ledger can read. That's the first issue that Seller Ledger has. There are others, and I don't know if there's any in here, but I will explain them to you just in case. All right. First off, I like to highlight everything again. Go up here to this Sort and Filter tab, and just hit Filter. So now what I do is I can sort every column by anything I want. So I like to see all my negative numbers together, just so I know what I'm working with. So if I hit this is all my negative numbers right here, right? So negative because this was a payout request, right? $23. I had some giveaways that come out of our shipping, right? So that's the negative too. So this is the second thing that Seller Ledger doesn't understand. Well, actually, I think this is something that Whatnot messes up and not Seller Ledger. Because over here it says sales. Technically it's a sale. But as you can see, it's a charge deduction, right? So what this really is, you have to write the word adjustment for all of your giveaways. All right. We'll do that real quick. This is a $0 transaction, which means someone bought an item before they got a giveaway. So I wasn't charged any shipping, but it's still considered an adjustment. All right, so those are the giveaways. All right, so the ones that are 0 or negative, like these ones right here, these are sales that we lost money on. It was probably something that we had to sell cheap because maybe there was a flaw or something like that. But we lost 44 cents and 31 cents on those three items right there. So these are not adjustments. These are losses by sales. So we leave them the way it is. All right. If you do not put adjustments under the giveaways, they will come up in Seller Ledger under sales as a positive number, not a negative number. So you got to make sure you put adjustments there. Otherwise, it reads it as plus 509. Don't know why. But this is how you work around that right there, by putting the word adjustment in there. So I got a tip right. That one's correct. I'm going to scroll down through these because I'm looking for something in particular. And all of these are correct. But what you will see sometime is, say for this one example, right? The word completed will be gone, and the word sales will be here, and this will be blank. You will see this sometimes. Now, if you upload it and it's like that, it will not read it at all. It will just disappear, and it will not be uploaded into Seller Ledger as an adjustment or a sale. All right. There are other categories like credits that you get for like doing things. They might give you like a $10 credit to buy anything in the store. And those ones will have different categories as well. All right, so we'll set that back. All right, and then you're looking through here. Like I was saying, this is all your sales, right? So if you're doing random pulls, you're gonna see like this. It won't be in order. If you want to see these in orders, just go to the top, go to message, and then just filter this from A to Z, and then you can see numerically everything in order. So the one, if they bought something from your shop, you're gonna see like this. This is from my shop. All right, so then you got your payouts and your tips also, okay? So those are negative numbers. So payout is always a negative, tips always a positive. All right. So anyways, everything in here is now correct. It took me a long time to figure this stuff out. So I had to go back and delete my uploads and re-upload them and fix it everything a couple times till I figured this out, messing around with it. So this is the tried and true and tested way to get your seller ledger to acknowledge all your sales and all your stuff. When it comes to expenses and stuff like that, that's easier to do. You don't have to worry about this CSV stuff, just for uploading your sales only. So now what I do is I save them, right? Save as, going to PC, going to my, here. And then just renaming it. All right. So I just saved it as 09 June 2025. And then we're gonna just close this because everything is right now. Then we're not gonna worry about the whatnot anymore. Here we are back in whatnot, okay? I've shown the data here because this is just like 1 day of sales or something like that. I'm not quite sure. This $5.99, so it doesn't really show too much data, so I'll show that. But when I click on this, because this is my 2005 data, the one above it is the 2004 data. So when you click on that, you get to your transactions that have been uploaded before, and it lists them all individually. These are all files that are uploaded. You can see the last one I did was on the 3rd, so today's the 10th, going on the 11th almost, so I have a lot to upload. But anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the top, we're going to go to this upload history button right here. You see that upload history? Alright, so we clicked on that, and these are all the transactions that I've uploaded in the past. Alright? So that file that we downloaded, we just choose file, it automatically goes to where I saved them before, and here's our June 9 file. We just click this, and then we hit save, and it's going to upload the data, okay? Now, I'm going to go back to dashboard. Alright, so now it's processing, and when it's done, you're going to see the dollar value there change. It's going to show you the value of all the transactions I just uploaded. And over here, you're going to see this number change over here, right? This number right here is going to go, the little dot's going to go up. Alright. I'm going to let it do its thing for a second, and I'll be right back when it's done because it does take a minute. Alright, I'm back now. As you can see, the transactions changed. So that was $1,099 worth of transactions after fees from Whatnot. And shipping for the giveaways are also subtracted. Okay. Okay, here we are. We've clicked on inventory. And this is where you're going to see your beginning balances, your purchase, your cost of goods sold, and your current balance. Okay. So you can click here to see what you've purchased for inventory right up here on this purchases tab. You can click here to see what you have in stock. This is where you can add, you can also do this from here where you add your inventory, but over there you can see your inventory also. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna click on sold. So here we are in the sold tab. You can sort it by date, which I already did. What I uploaded, but you can see right up here is where you sort it by date. You can, how many items you want by the page. You can set it by things that are missing cost of goods, because this is the page where you set up your cost of goods. Or you can look at the items that have already have a set. I like to do 100 items per page. It automatically does it for you. Now I left this top one open so I can show you what we're doing. So say we sold this men's Hogan Performance Golf Polo. I know who I bought this from. So we come over here and we hit the add cost button, okay? So then this is gonna bring up this page right here where you can go in and assign the cost of goods that because as you get inventory, you've put them into your inventory using that little add inventory button I showed you earlier. So I'm gonna click, I already know the SKU that I assigned, so I'm just gonna type it in. So random DSG products, okay? So the OFO, that's the seller. Usually it's letters I use from the seller's name. All right, so I click this and I just hit save. And it's gonna automatically populate the item cost here and subtract it from the amount, which means I made a whole 11 cents on this because the total amount was $15.81. After fees and all that good stuff, I made $10. Right? And then the item cost, and then I made 11 cents. Yeah, so I didn't make much money on that one. Pretty much that's all I'm gonna probably show for today. I could do a part 2 if you guys have anything at all you wanna learn. I mean, there's a lot more to do in there, especially within the inventory tab, the reports, the taxes section, the settings section. I could probably do more. Just let me know either on here or in whatnot when you come to my channel. I have started working on my social media, but it's not active yet. This is the first step. But yeah, you can comment down here. I'll allow comments. But anyways, I had kind of fun doing this. It was a little tricky, but I like doing it. This is kind of my first video, so don't blame me for all the editing I did where things might just jump around a little bit. I'll get better as I go, I promise. Pretty much that's it. I'll see you online. Thank you all.